The wedding ended like a business conference, short, sterile, silent, no soft music, no happily ever after, just signed papers and two frozen hearts forced into a marriage. The car ride to the penthouse was quiet. You sat elegantly, eyes forward, radiating dignity like armor. He leaned into the seat with a bored expression like you were nothing new, nothing worth noticing. We will set some rules once we reach home. I don't do rules that are not one sided. Keep that in mind, you said without looking at him. That was his first surprise of the night. His jaw clenched, but he remained silent. When the car stopped, he stepped out first, hands in pocket, tall, handsome, in a cold way, a walking storm in a three-piece suit. He opened the door for you only because the driver wasn't fast enough, not for you, for convenience. As soon as the elevator door opened to his private floor, he walked ahead, hands in pockets, tall, intimidating, and emotionally unavailable. He finally spoke once inside. His voice, the definition of ruthless. This marriage means nothing to me. I didn't need a wife. I didn't want a wife. You removed your bracelet slowly, calmly, not giving him the satisfaction of a reaction. Trust me, you weren't my dream groom either. Don't flatter yourself. His eyes snapped to you, sharp, offended, confused. He took a step closer, lowering his voice this time. Listen, I have no intentions of sharing my room or my life with someone who forced their way into it. You gave a dry laugh, then you reply, a dagger dipped in honey. Someone forced, darling. If anyone was forced here, it was me. You think too highly of yourself. He blinked. He wasn't prepared for your confidence. Most women he interacted with either feared him or chased him, but you didn't even flinch. The fire in your eyes, the unbothered answer made him lose all his ego on the spot. I'm not used to women talking back to me, and I'm not used to men thinking they can talk down to me. You tilted your head. So what now? You want me to sleep outside, on the floor, or maybe the balcony suits your ego better? A vein in his neck twitched. There's a guest room. You smiled lightly. Perfect. Keep your space. I don't share mine either. And if you think I'll beg or chase you, well, I don't think I need to answer that. You grabbed your suitcase, wheels clicking against the marble floor like you owned the place. No hesitation, no fear. No, why don't you want me? His eyes followed you, widening when he realized. You were unbothered. The maid rushed up nervously. Ma'am, the master's room is. You raised a hand to stop her. I'm not staying in that room. I don't like sharing rooms with strangers either. You disappeared into the guest room, shutting the door with calm finality. Not loud, quiet. Quiet kills faster. Jungkook stood frozen. He expected tears, anger, a plea, anything that fed his ego, or things he grew up learning that women used to get their way into marriages like this. Instead, he felt something unfamiliar gnawing inside his chest. He lost the first battle without even realizing it had begun. His internal voice screamed, who is she? And why did she just make me feel like the one rejected? He ran a hand through his hair, stunned. For the first time in his life, John Jungkook had met a woman who wasn't scared of him, wasn't impressed by him, wasn't affected by him. A woman who could destroy him simply by not caring, and that terrified him. That thrilled him. You came into the guest room and unpacked your stuff, but as you were taking off your wedding dress, you scoffed. I'm not used to women talking back to me. Well, Mr. CEO, seems like you have only met girls so far. Now you have come across a woman. Now you'll see how that ego of yours will shatter without even you trying. That night he didn't sleep well, not because he hated you, but because for the first time a woman wasn't trying to win his attention, and that was something he didn't know how to handle. You woke up before him, fresh and radiant, heading to the dining area where the head chef prepared a large breakfast spread. You sat and peacefully started eating, not waiting for him, not caring about his existence. Moments later, he walked in, hair slightly messy, shirt unbuttoned at the top, looking like he didn't sleep well. He paused when he saw you, already having breakfast without him. His eyes narrowed. I wasn't informed that you would start having breakfast this early. Usually, a newlywed wife waits. You placed your fork down gently, your voice gracious yet sharp. I don't wait for anyone, and since you made it clear last night that you don't want me involved in your life, I assume that includes meals as well. He inhaled sharply. You had a way of twisting his words so gracefully that he couldn't even be mad. He sat across from you, trying to regain dominance. I didn't expect you to be this stubborn. Most women try to make things work in an arranged marriage. You slowly placed your glass on the table, not loudly, not aggressively. Your elegance was the threat. You leaned forward just a little, eyes locked with his unwavering, confident. Most women are taught that marriage is the best thing that will ever happen to them. I was raised to believe I am the best thing that could happen to someone else. His lips parted slightly, shock silencing him again. You didn't stop. And correct me if I'm wrong, weren't you the one who said you didn't want a wife, didn't want this marriage? You let a tiny knowing smile play on your lips. Then tell me, Mr. CEO, why do you seem so desperate for my attention? Why does it bother you so much that I don't care whether you share your room, your life, or even your last name with me? He blinked, caught, your voice lowered, smooth as a warning. Oh, maybe you expect me to beg, to prove myself, to crave validation from a man who can barely manage his own emotions. You lean back, effortlessly powerful, but you forgot one thing. I don't chase people who push me away. I give them exactly what they asked for. Silence. Sharp and humiliating. Jungkook swallowed. For once, he didn't know if he wanted to argue with you or applaud you. Because he learned something terrifying. You weren't just unbothered, you were untouchable, and that made you the first woman in his life who might actually break him. He walked into the building confidently, head held high, heels echoing authority. Employees turned, whispering loud enough for him to hear from afar. She doesn't behave like a newlywed at all. That's so bold. I like her vibe. She's gorgeous and different. Imagine rejecting our CEO's attention like that. She's a queen. Employee 3 giggled, and the CEO stared at her yesterday like she was some mystery he couldn't solve. Jungkook stood behind them, hearing every word, and he hated how much he liked it. You passed by him without stopping. Good morning, Mr. CEO. You didn't wait for his reply, you didn't give him a smile, you walked into the conference room, elegance wrapped in ice. Everyone stared, he stared the longest. He clenched the file in his hand. No woman ever ignored him except you, and that made you the only one he needed to look at now. A foreign business client, Mr. Han, took a particular interest in you the moment meeting started. He leaned forward way too close to you. You must be the famous new daughter-in-law everyone is talking about. I must say your presence is breathtaking. You didn't react to his flirting. Instead, you remained calm, uninterested. We are here for business, Mr. Han. Focus on the presentation, please. But the man didn't step back. He only came closer, brushing his shoulder against yours. Employees exchanged awkward looks. Your husband's jaw tightened. Yes, Jungkook, the co-CEO, he got jealous. He tried to ignore it. He tried to be logical. He tried to stay cold. But then Mr. Han placed his hand beside yours on the table, fingers almost touching. That was it. He slammed his pen down and stood up, chair scrapping angrily. Mr. Han, you better remember where you are standing. This is a business meeting, not a flirting arena. The room froze. He continued, stepping closer, his stare lethal. And if you want to keep working with my company, you will maintain a professional distance from my wife. The word my wife dropped like a bomb. Everyone gasped. Even you turned to look at him. Mr. Han gulped, instantly stepping back. I apologize, Mr. CEO. I didn't mean any disrespect. You already did. Next time you forgot your place, there won't be apologies. He made eye contact sharp as a blade. He sat down again but stayed tense, refusing to look in your eyes. You leaned slightly toward him, whispering quietly so only he could hear. Why does it bother you so much? I thought you didn't care about sharing your life with me. He stared forward, refusing to respond. You smirked. You won that round. Meeting ended, everyone walked out whispering, did he really say my wife? That was intense. He was jealous, I swear that was jealousy. Imagine making the CEO lose control like that. She's literally his kryptonite. He walked ahead quickly, trying to escape the embarrassment he caused himself. But you caught up, heels clicking gracefully. Mr. CEO, thank you for defending me, although I don't recall asking for protection. He stopped but didn't turn. It wasn't protection. I wouldn't have business ruined because of unprofessional behavior. You walked around to face him, your calmness stabbing deeper than anger ever could. Of course, it had nothing to do with me. It was all business, right? His throat bobbed. He looked away. You smiled, a beautiful, dangerous smile. I'll make sure to stay far from everyone, just like you want. And he walked away, leaving him drowning in a feeling he refused to name. He sat in his cabin later, trying to work, but his eyes kept drifting to the glass door separating your cabin from his. You were inside, talking to the female staff, smiling a little, not looking at him, not thinking about him. He hated that. His fingers tapped the table. His heartbeat was faster. His eyes were glued to you. She played really well. Look at me. I'm the desperate one trying to get her attention. Then he scoffed. What the hell is wrong with me? You arrived home, removed your heels at the entrance, and without even glancing toward him, you walked straight to the guest room. He sat in the living room, fingers gripping the couch tightly. He wanted to call your name. He wanted to say, stay, share the room with me, but the words wouldn't come out. He just watched your bag disappear behind the door. Coward, you can't even ask your own wife to stay with you. He eventually dragged himself to his bedroom, but sleep nowhere close. He tossed, turned, stood up, sat down, checked his phone, checked the ceiling, cursed himself multiple times. Finally, he got up, pacing restlessly. I'm just thirsty, that's all. I'm not going to see her. Definitely not. He went downstairs. Light spelled from the guest room door. He froze. She's awake. He looked at the time and it was past midnight. He stood there debating, heart racing, for reasons he refused to acknowledge, but then a sound sharp enough to slice his thoughts apart. His eyes widened. He ran, not walked to your room. He pushed the door open, and there you were, collapsed on the floor, eyes closed, breathing uneven. His blood turned cold. Hey, Ryan, wake up. Look at me. Why aren't you opening your eyes? His voice cracked, pure panic. He lifted you into his arms instantly, like you weighed nothing. He ran upstairs with you pressed against his chest. He called the doctor. Come fast, my wife, she fainted. I don't care what time it is, just come. He sat on the bed beside you the entire time, brushing your hair from your face, whispering, please be okay. I can't lose you, not when I've fallen so hard in no time. You slowly open your eyes, confused, exhausted. His relief was so visible, but he covered it with anger. He tried to sound cold but failed miserably. Why didn't you tell me you had a health condition? What if I wasn't there? The doctor checked you and asked, did this happen before? You nodded weakly. Since I was 10. It's normal for me. I faint sometimes when I'm tired. She needs to avoid stress, no emotional strain, no overthinking. The doctor left with a warning. She should not sleep alone tonight. You stood up immediately. I'm fine, I'll go to my room now. You turn away, he grabbed your wrist, desperate. No, you're not going anywhere. So now you care. You hated sharing a room, remember? His breath hitched. He didn't want to admit it. He didn't want to appear weak, but he already was. He stepped in front of you, blocking your exit. His voice softened into something rare, fragile. I was wrong. You stare at him, waiting. He swallowed hard. I said I didn't want this marriage. I said I didn't want a wife, but I didn't know. He took a shaky breath, eyes locked into yours, that I would fall in love with you. The world paused. He continued, words tumbling out like they had been trapped for days. I don't want distance. I don't want separate rooms. I don't want you ignoring me. I don't want you hurting alone. He took your hands gently, terrified you might pull away. I don't want anything if you're not with me. Your heart almost slipped, but your dignity stayed firm. People don't fall in love this fast. Are you sure you aren't confusing fear with feelings? His answer came instantly, fierce. I'm sure because fear ends when someone is safe, but with you, I have never felt more terrified of losing someone in my life. His eyes glistened, not quite tears, but close. Please stay with me tonight, not because you are sick, but because I need you. Not command, not pride, a request, a confession, a man in love. He lifted your hand to his chest and you felt it. His heart was racing for you. You slowly moved past him toward his side of the bed. You lay down, calm and composed. He switched off the lights and lay beside you, keeping a respectful distance. But his eyes didn't close. He watched you breathe, afraid you might disappear again. You spoke without looking at him. You can sleep now. I'm not going anywhere. He exhaled shakily, then smiled, finally closing his eyes. For the first time, the CEO slept peacefully because you were beside him. The car stopped right at the entrance of John Corporations. The driver stepped out first, opening your door gently. Jungkook turned to you before you got out. Wait, your hair. He reached out, carefully adjusting a small strand that had fallen in front of your eyes. His fingers lingered a second too long, his breath warm against your cheeks. Are you checking if your colleague looks presentable? Boss mode already? He smiled, but his voice was low. I'm making sure my wife looks perfect. Is that a crime? Now? Your heart skipped. He offered his hand like a true gentleman. You hesitated, then placed your hand in his, warm, firm, and protective. As you both walked inside, hands brushed occasionally, neither of you moved away. Employees froze the moment they saw the two of you entering together. Whispers spread like wildfire. Is that the CEO and MD? Wow, she's gorgeous. She looks like she's walking the runway. They both came in the same car today. She's bold. I like her confidence. Jungkook walked beside you with a clenched jaw, pretending he wasn't listening, but every word was stabbing him. His eyes flicked to the employees who were standing too close. He cleared his throat loudly. Everyone immediately straightened. Someone is very popular today, you said. I'm not the one they're studying. You nudged him with your shoulder. Oh, come on, stop being dramatic. They admire you. He looked straight, ears turned red. No, they admire you. He paused at the elevator and leaned closer, and I don't like sharing admiration. Your breath hitched. As you stepped into his office, he leaned down slightly, voice low enough for only you to hear. Keep walking in beside me like this every morning. You whispered. Why? He stared straight into your eyes, an unfiltered truth escaping his lips before he could stop it. Because it makes me feel like you are mine. Silence. You felt your heartbeat everywhere. His eyes widened like he hadn't meant to say it out loud. He cleared his throat aggressively and marched to his desk, pretending he was totally fine, but his ears were bright red.